Alright, diesel electric road locomotive operation instruction section class, American Locomotive Company passenger 3 unit, general data and builder, American Locomotive Company 6,000 horsepower, 2360 gear ratio, 100 miles an hour, 2A and 1B unit 2, trucks per unit 2, axle per truck 3, traction motor per truck 2, wheel diameter 40 inches, general size 6.5, 12 inches, brake schedule, Westinghouse 24RL, maximum overload dimensions unit, height, width, and length, 15 and 5 inches, 10 and 6.5 inches, 5 foot 8 inches. B unit, the 14 foot 11 inches, 10 foot 6.5 inches, 63 foot 6 inches. Total weight 312,200 pounds and 10,000 pounds from the driver. Also, for the B unit, the total weight is 306,900 pounds, 204,600 pounds. Steam generated water supply tank capacity 1,300 gallons. The A unit and fuel oil capacity 1,200 gallons, fueling capacity 22 cubic foot. The B unit steam generated water supply tank capacity 1,900 gallons, fuel oil capacity 1,200 gallons, tank capacity 22 cubic feet. General data diesel engine model Alco 244V. The horsepower governed by the RPM 200,000 horsepower to 100,000 RPMs. Type V 4 cycles. Number of cylinders 16, bore stroke 9 inches, 10.5 inches. Idle speed 350 RPM. Firing order 1R, 1L, 1F, 1R, 1R, 81, 18, 1R, 1L, FR, FL, 7R, 7L, RL, 3L, 8R, RL, 8L, 4RL, 4L, 2R, 2L, 6R, 6L. Number of the engines per unit, 1. Lubricating oil capacity, each 230 gallons. Cooling water capacity, each of the engine 330 gallons. Diesel engine. The engine used for the class of locomotive is 16-cylinder V-type with the 4-cycle with the 2-barrel supercharged with the diesel engine. The cycle events the cylinder of the diesel of the engine, same with as described in section class 4 BP1, except with the maximum pressure of the air delivered in the cylinder of the turbo supercharged with approximately 18.5 pounds instead of 5 and 6 pounds. The main generator, auxiliary generator, blower generator, the exciter with the mounted with the rear end of the engine with the governor, turbo supercharged with the water pump, lubricating oil pump, they're mounted with the front end. The cylinder arranged with the two banks for the 8 of the cylinder ends, each with the bank of the angle of the 45 degrees with between the bank of the right and left bank of the inside of the engine is designated with the right and left bank and sides respectively when facing the rear end of the end of the engine. The cylinders are numbered with the front of the rear of the bank with the designated with the right and left being the 1R with the front end of the right bank with the ending with the 8R with the rear end of the right bank, beginning with the 1L with the front of the left bank and the ending with the 8L with the rear of the left bank. The direction of the rotation of the engine counterclockwise when facing the rear end of the diesel engine. Diesel engine governor with the governor control. The electrical hydraulic governor around the engine is located from the left side of the engine, from the front, and the incorporated speeds responsive with the servo mechanism to control the engine, fuel, and generator excitation position mechanism, which serve the fuel limit of the mechanically latched with the spring-operated open clutch for the override of the speed servo with the spindle move with the fuel control shaft, lay shaft to the no injection position wherever the holding the coil current, the interrupted. Hydraulic pressure regulator, which maintains the pressure of the hydraulic source with the speed servo and fuel limit. The governor hydraulic oil system that operates with 125 pounds of the pressure oil used for the SAE-10 with turbine oil with contained with the reserve of the 2.5 gallon capacity located directly under the governor of the oil level should be maintained with the full mark on the bayonet gauge for the diesel engine. Shut down the pump driven with the fuel transfer pump with the receive of the oil from the reservoir through a strainer, delivers it through a filter with the governor located with the oil pressure switch and marked GOP. We'll shut down the engine by the interrupting the current of the magnetic clutch for the oil pressure drops below 75 pounds. A gear-driven tactometer generator mounted with the left side of the engine at the rear end of the measure of the engine speed of the transit electrically the speed indication with the governor. To vary the speed engine with the throttle change with the maintained with the constant speed of load change with the amount of fuel injected into the cylinders may be varied with the amount of fuel injected to determine the position, power, and position with the governor with this tactometer generator operated with the pilot valve number 1 with the speed servo through a solid solenoid through the reference spring with the movement of the solenoid caused with the change of the position of the pilot valve number 1 controlling supply of oil with the power position of the engine speed with which the solenoid actuates the pilot valve with number 1 is determined by the resistance solenoid can circle with the resistance solenoid with the circuit is determined the throttle level position through the operating sequence relay with the power piston supply with the energy with the move of the cutout fuel roll shaft lay shaft through the magnetic clutch. A second pilot valve controlled the same manner as though the first one controlling supply of the oil second power piston. This power piston can limit the movement of the fuel control shaft hence the maximum amount of fuel injected from each of the throttle number of knots positioned. In order to prevent the fluctuations in diesel engine speed, hunting the following increasing, decreasing the engine speed due to the throttle lever position, and change with the load without the movement of the throttle lever, the stabilizing coil with the provided with the solenoid with the operator the pilot valve number 1, stabilizing coil represents for the rate of the change of the engine speed, torque, and the G for the prevent over travel, the fuel control shutoff. The value of the throttle lever positions are current corresponding with the diesel engine room with the maximum horsepower. With number 1 idle, the RPM horsepower 300, 0 horsepower 2, 350 horsepower 75, 4, 3, 2 and 3. Let's see, 3, 550 RPMs at 400 horsepower. 4 idle 4 RPMs 655 at 625 horsepower. 5 at 765 RPMs at 1,000 horsepower. 6 at 860 RPMs at 1,225 horsepower. 7 at 920 RPMs at 1,600 horsepower. 8 at 1,000 RPMs at 2,000 horsepower. The overspeed stop device for the engine centrifugally operated with the mount of an tachometer generated which engine speed reaches approximately 1,100 RPMs, interrupt the current with the coil of the magnet clutch with the governor. To reset the overspeed stop switch must be manually reset with the pushing of the reset button. Diesel engine cooling system. The cooling system of the diesel engine for the several units of the locomotive, the cylinder each for the unit of the central figure water pump mounted with the front end of the engine draws the water from the lubricating oil cooler located in the front of the engine with the pump circulated with the water with the two headers and one of each of the banks of the cylinder located in the cylinder block. Individual jumpers can connect the head of the jacket each of the cylinder, the cooling water between on the jacket of the liner, enter the cylinder head of the 3 opening, but after the passing through the cylinder head, it flows the 2 outlet water head to the radiator through the. From there, for the oil cooler expands from the tank located under the roof just back of the 2 slope chart with the exhaust connected to the water pump suction line, the radiator located overhead in the rear of the end of the unit ventilated in the expansion tank. The cooling water temperature may be checked with the gauge located with the engine control panel. Operating temperature of 140 degrees Fahrenheit to 160 degrees Fahrenheit should be maintained. The shutters of controlling cooling water temperature are operated with the main reserve pressure within temperature control valve. The shutters may fully open before cooling fan can operate. The mechanically driven cooling fan draws air through the radiator, dispensing the heat with the cooling water to the atmosphere. Speed with the cooling fan varied with the eddy current with the clutch, regulated with the relay. Relay operation determined with the water temperature of the bulb, located with the discharge line between the radiators and the oil cooler. A fan control switch located with the engine control panel selects the automatic manual operation with the man with the limited switch operated fuel shutter linkage complete with the fan control circle when the shutters are fully open. With the shutters open and the fan control switch automatically position the fan operates with the thermostatic control. With the shutter open, the fan control switch manual position speed with the fans may be controlled by the manual fan control rheostat operated with the diesel dial located with the engine control panel below the fan's control switch. Alright, 2 shutters and operating mechanisms manual operated with a hand provided with the one on each of the wall unit just ahead with the cooling water radiators. During the automatic operation, the shutter of the wing nut of the operating handle must be not loose to permit the free move of the handle during the manual operation. The shutter of the operating handle may be secured with the desired position, tightening the ring nuts and operating the shutters manually. The cutout cock with the airline with the shuttering of the operating conditions must be closed with the air vented with the opening with the van valve with the T connection with the air filter located with the left side of the wall. Below the shutter operation mechanism, the shutter must be securely fully open position if the fan is operation required. The high temperature alarm switch set with 185 degrees operated with light with the load hot engine light with the sound of the alarm showed cooling. The water temperature becomes excessive. The cooling system can be filled either through the filler cap located in the roof of the expansion from the tank through the filler down for the right side of the unit over the rear truck. The rear water level of the cooling system is located indicated with the glass of the water gauge located with the expansion tank over the right aisle. Water must be shown with the gas gauge at all times. The cab heater aid the unit is supplied with the heat up water of the engine cooling system are provided with a separate inlet with the outlet valve with each for the heater located in the nose unit of the unit. The locomotive to the left standing or the diesel engine is shut down where the danger is freezing. Steam may be supplied to the system cooling water system may be drained. The supplying steam to the cooling system, the connection from the steam train is provided through the steam admission valve with the check valve, the choke located in the small pipe with the water pump suction. The steam can be supplied with the connecting outside steam line with the steam train line connection at the either end of the unit by operating steam generator in another unit. I pushed the wrong one.